So strap on in because it is going to be an incredible fight. So after his family was killed by the mob, U.S. Marine Special Forces veteran Frank Castle became a one-man army in his war against organized crime. Emblazoning a distinct death's head symbol on his chest, Frank became the vigilante now known as the Punisher. Castle has an extensive background with weapons and hand-to-hand combat, and is in peak physical condition. He sticks to a balanced diet and rigorously exercises his body and perfects his marksmanship every 2 days. Punisher has a very high tolerance for pain and can take multiple gunshots and stabs, survive multiple massive explosions, and take punches from superhumans and keep on fighting. His reflexes are impeccable and has been able to shoot Spider-Man, dodge Captain America's shield, stun Daredevil tranq dart, and once he even shot a super speedster. He knows and is skilled in just about every type of firearm known to man, even being able to grasp the most advanced weaponry that S.H.I.E.L.D. and other high-tech organizations had to offer. He prefers to use conventional weapons, though, and is a skilled point shooter and can easily hit targets in a moving vehicle or heroes and villains with superhuman speed. He's also an accomplished night fighter, and his hand-to-hand combat techniques are extremely deadly. He's able to use his fighting skills to combat against Daredevil, U.S. Agent, and Black Widow. He improvises his fighting skills with a series of lethal maneuvers, and he is more than capable of killing up to a dozen enemies unarmed. He is very rarely unarmed, though, so these skills aren't often used to their full potential. He is an excellent military tactician and strategist, able to create effective plans on the spot, and is able to repeatedly outwit S.H.I.E.L.D., Hammer, and the Avengers. He is a true master of both conventional and guerrilla warfare, and is able to use different tactics to take down superpowered characters that are more than capable of killing him in a straight-up fight. The most common outfit that Punisher uses is a bulletproof blacktop with a Death's Head symbol spray-painted on it, equipped with tons of pockets and belts for weapons. Speaking of weapons, Castle mostly uses conventional firearms, explosives, and knives. One of his favorite weapons is the M60 machine gun, which he used in Vietnam, and the Uzi 9mm. Frank also uses an M16A3, with his backup of choice being the Derringer D32. His favorite knife is the Gerber MK2. And in the other corner we have Red Hood. So Jason Todd was the second Robin before he was brutally murdered by the Joker. Resurrected, Jason initially turned against his mentor, taking on the Clown Prince of Crime's former codename, the Red Hood. Eventually coming back to the Bat family and assembling a team of anti-heroes known as the Outlaws, Jason once again fights for justice, but on his own terms. After being taken in by Bruce, Jason receives an excellent education and tutoring from both private tutors and Bruce himself. As a former Robin, Jason possesses all the skills of someone trained by Batman, but lacked the experience of Dick or Tim. After his resurrection, Jason furthered his knowledge in combat by using Talia al Ghul's fortune to travel the world, similar to what his former mentor had done, only he sought out much deadlier training. He's also been trained in explosives, strategy, poisons, weapons, stealth, vehicles, antitoxins, and surveillance. Jason has also trained his body to peak physical condition, and he's actually superior to most Olympian athletes, but that may be due to the healing of the Lazarus Pit. Jason's fighting style focuses on brutality, strength, and speed. He's also a master of karate, ninjutsu, kickboxing, and taekwondo. With these skills, he can be considered one of the best martial artists in the DC universe, and is one of the deadliest people in the world. Jason's costume usually consists of a biker jacket, t-shirt, jeans, and a Red Hood mask. His mask contains a radio transmitter and receiver, as well as night vision. He has gauntlets that contain compartments for his weapons, which are deadlier than Batman's. His weapon of choice is a pair of customized Jericho 941s, fitted with extra serrations and many red dot sights. He's also packing an assortment of shurikens and a flame dagger, which is a replica of one of Ra's al Ghul's weapons. So who wins this showdown? Well, let's find out. Now, these characters are actually pretty similar, but we're not going to focus on their similarities. No, we're going to talk about their differences, because that is how we're going to determine the winner. So Punisher is the stronger and more durable of the two, just being larger and more imposing in stature. On the other hand, Red Hood is much faster and more agile than Frank Castle is. Now let's take a look at their melee or hand-to-hand fighting ability. Punisher is an experienced knife and hand-to-hand fighter, and most of all, his techniques are used to kill. He's been able to hold his own in a fight, or even beat Daredevil, US Agent, and Black Widow. There was even a time where he outmaneuvered the Winter Soldier, and ended up winning the fight by putting a pistol to Bucky's head. Frank is even capable of killing dozens of enemies unarmed. However, Red Hood is a former Robin, and has been trained by Batman, one of the greatest fighters in the DC universe. After Jason's resurrection, he traveled the world and sought out the world's best martial artists and fighting experts, like Bruce did, although this time, Jason sought out much deadlier and lethal training. He's a master in karate, ninjutsu, kickboxing, taekwondo, as well as plenty of other forms of martial arts. So in the end, Red Hood is the better fighter and will win in a strictly hand-to-hand fight. But this fight isn't going to come down to hand-to-hand battle, mostly because these two are always packing lethal weapons. Red Hood has his two customized Jericho 941 pistols, which are his go-to weapons. On the other hand, Punisher has his M60 machine gun, Uzi 9mm, M16A3, and Derringer D32. Frank is also always wearing his bulletproof black top, while Red Hood usually just has his biker jacket and shirts. But he does have his bulletproof Red Hood mask. So who wins this fight? If this fight was hand-to-hand or melee, Red Hood would win. But Punisher is a better marksman, has better weapons, and is also just much quicker to permanently put down his enemies. So this fight won't get to just hand-to-hand brawl. And in my opinion, Punisher wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts on this battle, so sound off in the comments down below. Also, if you have any ideas for future showdowns,